Okay, that is a really interesting video showcasing bench grafting, meaning that the grafting is being done in the dormancy period, which has the highest success rate. And this is actually omega graft. When you're grafting two grapevines together, there are multiple shapes that you can use depending on the technology, on the season, and on the grape varieties, but the omega is actually the most popular. Basically, it means that the shape of the cut and how you connect those two grapevines has an omega shape, which interlocks them, and it has a great surface area for the vine to heal. And after the grafting, as you can see, the vines are treated. They are being dipped in wax to seal them. It helps to keep in moisture, and then they are going to plant these vines for 1 year to grow together and for the graft union to strengthen. And after that, they uproot them, and then they can be planted to their final destination, into the vineyard. So yeah, this is a really cool educational video. Hello guys, this is episode 14 of the Winemaker React series. Today we are going to continue our journey and check out some interesting wine and viticulture videos to try to learn something. And yeah, let's jump into it. Okay. Beautiful batonage. So what is batonage? Batonage is the process when you basically stir up the yeast, the dead yeast deposit on the bottom of a barrel or a tank. And what is the purpose of this? Well, the yeasts, when they finish the fermentation, they die because of the higher alcohol level, which they couldn't handle anymore. They deposit on the bottom of the vessel, and those yeasts still have valuable compounds in them. So with this method, when you stir them up, it facilitates a process called yeast autolysis, when some of those components from the yeast are dissolved into the wine, creating a more textured, more complex mouthfeel, and it also can add some creamy, buttery aromas. It is mostly used in white wines, mostly in Chardonnay winemaking. It is repeated, depending on the winemaking style, weekly or monthly for a short period after the fermentation. Besides making the wine richer and more complex, it also helps to reduce the risk of reduction, which is the formation of these sulfur-like compounds that can cause these rotten egg smells in wine, which is obviously unpleasant. So in some situations in the winemaking process, the batonage can help to manage these risks as well. But yeah, obviously the process of doing this in these see-through barrels is pretty beautiful, so always a pleasure to see these videos. Did you know that frost damages over 100,000 hectares of vineyards each year? That is more than 400 million bottles of wine lost to cold mornings. And the tools that we still rely on, like candles, wind machines or sprinklers, are labor-intensive, expensive and polluting. That's why I was excited to discover Frolight. It's a breakthrough system that protects vineyards with targeted infrared heating. We were so impressed that we reached out, and now I'm proud to say Frolight is sponsoring this video. So how does it work? Infrared tubes gently warm the buds and shoots directly, activating automatically when temperatures drop. No smoke, no noise, no wasted energy, just smart protection where and when it's needed. It works in the wind, it heats the plant, not the air, it's fully automated, energy efficient and cost efficient in the long run. Check it out at frolight.com and see how you can protect your vineyards the smart way. Let's see. Huge bottle, huge saber, but why is he changing the technique? No! Wow, that's a sad video. So there are many things wrong with this, and I don't even understand what was his logic. He started the sabrage correctly. So to do a sabrage, you have to slide the sword or the knife on the edge of the bottle, holding the bottle in a 45-degree angle, and you have to look for that line on the side of the bottle where is the seam, and that is the weakest point. So you have to slide your knife through that part. Obviously the cage and the foil is already removed, and when the knife hits the neck of the bottle, the pressure from the bottle and that weak point, all these things result in the neck of the bottle breaking. It creates a clear breakage and the pressure just shoots out the neck with the cork, and your sabrage is done. But in this situation, I don't understand his logic. He tried 2 or 3 times the sabrage, and then he switched techniques and tried to hit the cork, which is obviously very dangerous. And as you can see, it had this result. He just hit the neck of the bottle straight on, and the whole bottle exploded. That's pretty sad, but I hope it didn't cut the hand of the guy who was holding the bottle. Yeah, sabrage can be dangerous, so if you don't really know what you are doing, then maybe leave it to the professionals. Funny comments, they say that he was trying to do the sabrage as he was trying to decapitate a knight. Funny, uncomfortable laughter at the end. Yeah, well, it happens. So this is a wine nursery and they are uprooting the vines. Probably this is the first year after grafting and the grapes started to grow. That's why it is so dense, because in a wine nursery you plant the freshly grafted grapes very close to each other, since you are not going to grow them there for a long time. And this is the most efficient way of growing them. And what is interesting about this video is the fact that they are uprooting them during the season while the grapevines still have leaves. Usually the most common practice is to do it in the dormancy period. They uproot the vines then, prune them, and then they are selling it to vineyards to plant it. But sometimes they can do this during the season if they want to sell the grapevines as green potted vines, as you can see in these pictures. So they are ready for planting in that exact season, which is less common in larger wineries, but for small plantations it is a convenient way. So actually this one refers back to our first video that we've seen where they showed the omega grafting technique. This happens after the grafting. In the first season they plant those vines with the resistant rootstock and with the desired Vitis vinifera grapevine on the top. They grow together, they develop the root system, and now these baby grapevines have the root system of a more resistant variety that can handle disease and different weather conditions, and the top part is the desired Vitis vinifera variety that you use for winemaking. That's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, subscribe for more videos like this, and see you in the next one. Cheers.
Back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I get let up.